we're unveiling the Xbox. This is the Xbox. For the first time, let me now unveil.
Are video games actually not fun anymore? Or is this just a placebo effect? What do I even mean by placebo effect in the first place? Let me share my thesis after watching countless videos on the same topic of a game becoming boring or not fun, and why I think that people are just missing the point and agreeing with the video without properly thinking about what the real issue is. I'm not gonna lie. There was a point in my life where I had the same issue of thinking gaming wasn't really fun anymore. I remember when the new Xbox Series S just came out, and as many other people were, I was excited to save up and get my hands on one. A year or so after it had been released, I finally got one. I unboxed it, set it up, and just explored. As I was going through the library of games, I really didn't find anything that caught my eye or that piqued my interest. So, like most people, I downloaded the typical games such as Warzone or GTA 5. As I played them, I got bored, and after a while just thought to myself, did I really just waste all that time saving up for nothing? And yeah, I felt lost. But as time went on, I shifted my entire perspective and changed my ideology on gaming as a whole. The first problem that I think most people lack is variety in the games that they actually play every day. For example, some people only play the same 4 games, like Valorant, CSGO, Fortnite, Warzone, just things like that. And these games all have one main thing in common, being that they are all first-person shooters and are in the competitive genre. Now, if this sounds a bit like your usual routine, try to expand your genre of gaming. I know this sounds kind of obvious, but it's just the best path to take. Speaking from experience, I found this difficult at first because I wasn't a big fan of trying new games. I just preferred to stick with things I already knew and loved. The clear issue in doing this practice is that you'll inevitably get tired of having the same games in your rotation, despite them being addictive by design. Because as humans, if our brains aren't feeling stimulated enough when playing a game, we often just switch it off and go find something we deem better to do. Plus, the amount of gaming genres we have nowadays provides many different, engaging experiences to explore, especially through indie games. More on that later. Another problem is that I think the people who are actually claiming that gaming isn't fun anymore are the same people who have been playing games for a decade or so, and are just seeing a full circle of the modern games that are being released today. Now, what do I actually mean by that? Well, say you used to play a lot of Call of Duty back in the day or something like that, and now the newest FPS games are things like Overwatch, Apex Legends. You'll notice now how they're pretty similar and don't really provide anything drastically new to the FPS genre. This issue is the same for a lot of genres as well. The newer AAA games being released are just a reborn version of the older games, lacking any new variety or substance. And this really just comes down to evolution versus innovation, where companies are so laser focused on improving the graphics of a game that they forget what truly matters to the people who have been playing games for years, which is the immersion, storyline, and game mechanics. As a result, leaves players to think that gaming isn't fun anymore. Now, one thing I recommend for people who aren't able to find any modern games that are fun to play is that you revisit all the older games you used to love back in the day. This will likely trigger a floodgate of nostalgia inside of you, which also releases dopamine, meaning you're gonna have a great experience. For example, if you're bored of newer FPS games, try playing the first Halo, which would be, of course, Halo Combat Evolved. Especially if you're an OG Xbox player, you'll most likely remember it. And even if you don't have fond memories of playing it, just give it a try. Or similarly, if you are a 2010s type of gamer, try playing older versions of Minecraft as a start. One thing is for sure, with Minecraft especially, it resonates really well with a lot of people and unleashes an ungodly amount of nostalgia due to it being so unique at the time and its carefully crafted yet innovative music and game mechanics. I've personally applied those 2 examples to my life, and it really did help change my perspective because I was able to realize that the problem was just with most newer games, not gaming as a whole. Tying my next point with the nostalgia aspect I just talked about, I think the aspect of socializing through gaming has been the core reason of why people were so drawn to the idea of gaming in the first place. As a person who mainly likes to play alone because I get a sense of freedom and immersion, I still think it was fun to play things like Minecraft with friends, since we could just chill out, talk about various things, and mainly just have have a lot of fun, which as a result strengthened bonds. I still remember coming home from school, grabbing a bunch of snacks, turning off all my lights and waiting for my friends to come online. It felt like one of the best ways I could spend my time, and to this day I still enjoy playing with friends, even now that I'm much older. If I was to recommend a genre you should definitely choose to explore, I would say indie games. As many of you already may know, the genre does not consist of games with a massive team behind them, just like AAA games do, but rather a smaller team, likely functioning in a small studio, or in some cases aren't a team at all, but just one individual person working on the entire game. The great benefits of not many people being behind the game are that you tend to get more creativity, innovation, immersion, and have more care taken with how the game is designed and crafted. Now, the reason they're able to take this risk and try something new and innovative is because it won't affect them as much if the game doesn't work out as it would with a AAA company, with millions waiting and expecting something of high value. Some of my favourite games are from indie developers, such as Telltale, who were responsible for one of the best gaming series I've ever played, The Walking Dead, which I can tell you I have replayed so many times. Although I guess you could argue they aren't completely indie anymore since they have quite a lot of success, but the elements of indie still seep through their newer games, and the majority of the time you can just guarantee whenever you play a Telltale game you're going to get something good and have a great time. So those are just some of the many reasons why the statement gaming isn't fun anymore is not completely valid. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments and if you still enjoy gaming.